Koti Vaishnavrinda ki.
Hari Bol.
Okay. Nice to be with all of you.
非常高兴和大家今晚聚在一起。I noticed that somebody's mic is not mute.
Somebody's mic, so say it in Chinese.
Yes. 刘英马太姐还有大家 Vera Papu， 请把你们的麦打成静音。刘英马太姐，请把你的麦打成静音，因为里面有很大的杂音。还有 OK， 谢谢。
Now what about Divya?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
Yes. As far as Krishna permits, I'll be with all of you for 3 days in a row.
由于只要 Krishna 允许，那么可能我们会在这3天当中，接下来的会跟大家在一起。
As you probably know, Krishna Janmashtami in China is one day after Krishna Janmashtami in America.
你们大家都知道吗？中国的Janmashtami 是在美国 Janmashtami 的第2天。
So Krishna is going to appear 2 days in a row.
所以呢 Krishna 会显现在2天当中。
Your evening, my morning, our topic is to discuss the reasons for Krishna's appearance.
那么你们的晚上，也就是我们的早上，现在是美国的早上，是我们的晚上。今天要谈论的话题是 Krishna 显现于世的原因。
We'll begin with 2 very celebrated verses from Bhagavad-Gita.
我们会从薄伽梵歌非常著名的2个诗节开始。
Since you're all muted, we won't be able to hear each other.
因为大家都开到静音了，所以呢，我们听不到彼此的声音。
But I invite you to recite along with me simultaneously these 2 verses.
但是呢，我仍然邀请大家一起来跟我一起吟诵这2个诗节。
They're found in Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 4, texts 7 and 8.
这2个诗节是薄伽梵歌第4章第7诗节和第8诗节。
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. So you may have heard some voices in the background. There are some other people here gathered this morning.
你们可能听到了这个背景还有其他的奉献者的声音，那就是在我美国这边早上讲课的现场，还有其他的奉献者也在场。
In text 7, there are some very important words.
在诗节7当中有非常重要的几个词。
Krishna explains that he appears by his own will and his own potency.
Krishna 在这个诗节当中解释了他通过自己的意愿和能力显现。
The word in Sanskrit is srijami aham. I manifest myself.
这个词呢就是 Srijami Aham， 我亲自展示我自己。
We don't do that. Krishna does that.
我们做不到这个，但是呢 Krishna 做得到。
We don't choose who's going to be our mother and father and when we'll take birth and all those things. We don't choose those things.
我们做不到这一点 ，Krishna 依靠自己的力量去展示他自己，我们无法去选择谁是我们的父母，这样降临于世，但是 Krishna 他能够做到这一点。
But the all-powerful Krishna appears at his will by his own potency.
最有力量的、全面、最有力量的 Krishna 通过自己的意愿和他自身的力量显现于世，展示他自己。
And then another term that's very important in that verse is Dharmasya Glani, discrepancy in Dharma.
那么在这个诗文当中呢，还有另外一个词非常的重要 Dharmasya Glani， 那指的是每当宗教衰落的时候。
So you all know the word Dharma.
你们大家都知道 Dharma 这个字。
And Dharma means the path of virtue or the rules and regulations governing human society for elevation. That's Dharma.
Dharma 的意思是高尚的情操的原则，或者是使人得到提升的应该去遵守的原则。
And Glani means discrepancy.
而 Gnani 的意思是日渐衰落。
So that's one of the reasons for Krishna's appearance in this world.
所以这就是 Krishna 显现于世的原因之一。
When there's discrepancy in Dharma within human society, that's a reason for Krishna to appear.
当人类社会当中宗教日渐衰落的时候， Krishna 这就是 Krishna 降临于世的一个原因。
And that same purpose or reason is included in the next verse.
而下一个诗节也同样的包含了这个原因和原则。
So you can say with me text number 8 from chapter 4.
大家可以跟我一起来吟诵第4章《Bhagavad-Gita》第4章第8诗节。
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yuge yuge means from age to age or from time to time.
那么 yuge 是指的是一个年代复一个年代，指的是一次又一次。
Krishna appears. And there's 3 reasons.
Krishna 降临于世，这个诗节当中说了3个原因。
To protect the devotees, to vinash, to annihilate the demons.
去拯救奉献者，去铲除、消灭恶徒或者是恶魔。
And to restore Dharma.
并且重建宗教原则。
Dharma samstha means to establish Dharma, re-establish Dharma.
Dharma samstha 的意思是重建宗教原则。
That's because there's Dharma Shiglani or discrepancy, so he restores proper order in Dharma.
因为出现了 Dharma Shiglani， 因为出现了宗教衰落，所以呢要去重建宗教原则，去重塑宗教原则。
Now, let's go to Srimad-Bhagavatam, the graduate study of Bhagavad-Gita.
那么我们来进入到圣典博伽瓦坛部，也就是研究生的课程当中。
Some of you are carefully reading Srimad-Bhagavatam.
有些人非常的小心仔细的去研读圣典博伽瓦坛。
And you may know that the first chapter of Canto 1 Srimad-Bhagavatam has 6 questions that the sages ask Sutta Goswami, and this is one of them.
你们可能看到了，在圣典博伽瓦坛第1篇第1章，那些圣人们询问了 Sutta Goswami 6个问题。
The first question is found Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text number 12.
那么第一个，这是讲到了我们其中讲到了其中的一个。询问的第一个问题呢，是在圣典博伽瓦坛第一篇第一章第12时节。
Jiva Goswami has identified the 6 questions and the 6 answers.
Jiva Goswami 他知道这6个问题和非常清楚的6个问题和答案。
So, question number 3 is actually a statement, and it goes like this.
那么 could you repeat?
Question number 3 is actually a statement which reads like this.
那么呢，这个问的第3个问题正是我们刚才所讲到的。
You know for what purpose the personality of God had appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva?
你知道至尊歌手神显现在 Devaki 腹中，他的目的是什么？
So the sages want to know from Sutta, what was the purpose?
所以这些圣人们想要从苏塔沟索阿米那里去了解到至尊歌手神显现于世的目的是什么。
And the purpose is found in Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 34.
那么这个目的呢，就在博伽瓦坛第一篇第2章第34时节当中可以找到。
The language is slightly different than Bhagavad-Gita.
虽然博伽瓦坛当中的语言跟博伽梵歌里面的语言稍稍有一点不同，
But it doesn't introduce a new idea. Here's the reason.
但是呢，并没有说到什么新的想法。这里 Krishna 显现于世的原因是这样子的。
Thus the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited.
至尊人格守神如此将所有的宇宙保持在他们的轨道上。
By demigods, men, and lower animals. By demigods, men, and lower animals.
就是通过这个，把这些半神人、人类，还有这些飞禽走兽们，维系着半神人、人和其他的生物体。
Assuming the roles of incarnations.
他化身为各种各样的化身的角色。
He performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness.
从而上演逍遥时光，以教化那些处在善良属性层面上的生物。
My dear devotees, do you know anybody that's in the mode of pure goodness?
我亲爱的奉献者们，你们知道有这样的人，他处在纯粹善良属性当中的这样的人吗？
Maybe a long time before Krishna comes again.
也许是在 Krishna 在来到之前，在降临于世之前的很长时间的时候。
But we know from Bhagavad-Gita he appears to give protection to the devotees.
但是呢，我们从博伽梵歌了解到 Krishna 降临于世是为了保护他的奉献者。
And we're trying to be devotees.
我们努力成为奉献者。
So Krishna will also protect us.
Krishna 也会保护我们。
And that protection comes in the form of the holy name.
而这种保护呢
The words of Krishna in Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad-Bhagavatam.
而这种保护是以 Krishna 的圣名，以 Krishna 的话语，博伽梵歌、博伽瓦坛的形式到来。
The deity form of Krishna.
以 Krishna 的神像的形式到来。
the devotees of Krishna who remind us of Krishna.
是以前来提醒我们想起 Krishna 的奉献者的形式到来。
And the holy abode or dham of Krishna, like Vrindavan.
还有例如像神圣的圣地 Vrindavan 以这样的形式到来。
Maybe I'll see you all at Kartik time next year in Vrindavan, Krishna permitting.
如果 Krishna 允许的话，也许我们在明年的 Kartika 月会相见在 Vrindavan。
Now, Krishna makes his appearance accessible to us in those manners or those forms.
Krishna 以这种方式，以这种我们能够接近他的方式和形式，来到这世界上。
We're not in pure goodness, but we can be brought to goodness and then pure goodness by those 5 very sacred manifestations of Krishna.
我们可以通过 Krishna 的以5种不同的、以5种神圣的方式、形式的到来的方式，被带到善良属性当中，被带到纯粹的善良属性当中。
So now I'm going to repeat the 3 main reasons from Bhagavad-Gita for Krishna's appearance.
我现在来重复的阅读一下圣典钵伽梵歌里面所说到的 Krishna 降临于世的3个原因，3个主要的原因。
He comes to protect the devotees, he annihilates the demons, and he restores the principles of Dharma.
Krishna 降临于世是为了拯救他的奉献者，铲灭恶徒或者是恶魔，重建宗教原则。
There's a very important word in the pastime of Krishna's killing the first demon, Putana.
那么在 Krishna 杀死 Putana 的这个逍遥时光当中，有一个非常重要的词。
The phrase is asat antakam.
Asat antakam.
That's the Sanskrit phrase.
这是梵文词。
Okay. You all know who's Putana.
你们大家都知道谁是 Putana。
She is described in the 10th canto, chapter 6, as a witch.
她在圣典钵伽瓦坛第10篇第6章里被描述为是一名女巫。
The Sanskrit word is Keturi.
梵文词女巫，这个梵文词是 Keturi。
Prabhupada describes that even today there are witches that know how to get on a broomstick and go flying in the sky.
施卢帕帕德曾经说过，甚至直到现在的年代都有这样的女巫能够拿着扫把在空中飞行。
I've never seen one of those.
那么我从没见过这一场景。
But I take Prabhupada's word for it that there are such things.
但是呢，我把施卢帕帕德的话当作是真实存在的。
It's a mystic power.
这是一种神秘力量。
And I don't know why they need a broomstick, but it's part of their program.
我不知道他们为什么选择扫把当做工具，这是他们的活动，这是他们的节目。
So Putana was a witch.
那 Putana 是一名女巫。
And amongst the bad things that Putana did, she had a very well-known special favorite activity.
那么在这些恶行恶事当中呢 ，Putana 她尤为因其中的一个非常罪恶，非常低劣的活动而著名。
Her specialty was killing little babies.
她的嗜好非常低劣恶劣的嗜好就是杀死婴儿。
In Vishnu Purana, it describes that she had this mystic power to assume different forms.
在 Vishnu Purana 当中呢，描述了 Putana 这个女巫，她能够随意的变换自己的形体。
And one of the forms that she liked a lot was a very beautiful woman, nicely ornamented and decorated, and she would go from home to home in cities, towns, and even small villages looking for little babies to kill.
而她喜欢的这些她能够变换的这些多种的形象当中，她最喜欢的一个形象呢，就是一个非常妙龄的美女的样子，浑身珠光宝气，然后她从一个城镇到一个城镇，到一个村庄到一个村庄，甚至去到每一个城镇每一个村庄去寻找那些婴儿，去吃掉他们。
She would wait until the family went to sleep at night.
她会等着家人睡着了。
And then she'd go into the room where the little baby was sleeping.
然后她就趁大人们睡着的时候潜入到婴儿房。
And she would breastfeed the baby with a breast smeared with many different types of poisons, and the baby would die.
好，然后呢，她会去把她的这个乳房涂上毒汁，让这个婴儿吸吮，然后婴儿吸吮之后立刻死去。
When the family would wake up in the morning, they found that their small child was dead.
当这个大人们第二天醒来的时候，就会发现婴儿已经死去。
One day, she went to the home of Nanda and Yashoda.
有一天，她去到了 Nanda 和 Yashoda 的家。
She arrived just 6 days after the child was born.
她去到 Nanda 和 Yashoda 妈妈的家的时候，正是小婴儿出生6天之后。
So those of you that are mothers or know of very small children, imagine a child that's just 6 days old. How small?
然后那些身为父母的，你们可以想象一下，孩子出生6天之后是多么的小。
The Bhagavatam describes that she was very beautiful, like the goddess of fortune.
圣地博加瓦坛描述她貌若天，她美丽的就像幸运女神一样。
She was decorated with fantastic garments and jewelry of gold and precious stones and hair with jasmine flowers in the braids of her hair.
她浑身穿戴着金银首饰，头上戴着茉莉花串成的花环，脖子上挂着极致精美的花环，非常的美丽。
And in her hand was a lotus flower. The villagers thought she must be the goddess of fortune.
并且她手里还拿着一枝莲花，所以村里的人们都以为她是幸运女神呢。
She came instead of the dead of night. She came right in the middle part of the day, and no one even stopped her and said, "Hey, who are you? What's going on?"
她就在白天，中午时分的时候来到这个村庄，没人阻止她。
The Bhagavatam says specifically that the internal potency of Krishna arranged for her to know where Krishna was and arranged for her to get past everybody to come directly to Krishna.
圣典博加瓦坛是这样描述到的 ：Krishna 的内在能量 Yogamaya 在他的安排之下，指引着 Putana 进入到了这个村庄，然后指引他知道 Krishna 在哪个屋子里，所以他能够畅通阻的去到 Krishna 的房间。
She went right to the little crib where the 6-day-old baby Krishna was resting.
他去到了躺在摇篮当中刚刚出生6天的小 Krishna 那里。
And when she looked at the child, she was very attracted to the charming beauty of the transcendental supreme personality of Godhead.
当他一看到小婴儿 Krishna 的时候，他完全被 Krishna 超然迷人的俊美所吸引。
This awakened her natural motherly affection for the small child.
这一点呢，唤醒了他心中对婴儿的母爱。
And when she looked at Krishna, Krishna closed his eyes.
当他看着 Krishna 的时候 ，Krishna 闭上了双眼。
And there's a lot of commentary explaining why Krishna closed his eyes.
对于 Krishna 为什么闭上眼睛，有大量的评述。
We'll discuss that another time.
关于这一点，我们会在另一个时候来进行讨论。
But when she looked at Krishna, she understood he is meant for killing all demons.
当他一看到 Krishna 的时候，他立刻就能够明白 Krishna， 且他的目的就是为了杀死所有的恶魔。
The word used by Shukadeva Goswami is asat antakam. He is meant for killing demons. And she knew it.
Sutta Goswami 呢，用了一个词 asat antakam 这组词，这组词的意思是 Krishna 降临于世的目的就是为了杀死所有的恶魔。
Let's try again. Surabhi, it's antakam, not astakam.
Oh yeah.
Asat antakam.
Asat antakam.
Yeah. And so he's meant for killing demons. He doesn't hesitate to kill demons. That was one of his purposes of appearing.
Krishna 的目的是杀死恶魔，他会毫不犹豫地杀死恶魔，这是 Krishna 降临于世的目的之一。
Uddhava tells us in Canto 3, Chapter 2, Srimad-Bhagavatam,
Uddhava 在圣典博伽瓦坛第10篇第3章告诉我们 Canto 3, Chapter 2?
2.
Yeah. 那在 Uddhava 在圣典博伽瓦坛第3篇第2章告诉我们
that the all-merciful personality of Godhead accepted that little service of motherhood and liberated her and gave her a position as an associate of Mother Jasoda in Krishna Loka.
Krishna 接受了 Putana 的那么一丁点儿的母爱之情，然后赐予了他解脱，赐予了他在 Goloka Vrindavan 作为 Yashoda 妈妈助手的地位。
Lord Brahma, in his prayers to Krishna in chapter 14, he confirms the same thing.
主 Brahma 在圣典博伽瓦坛第10篇第14章里面确认了这一点。
Brahma is asking Krishna, how are you going to reciprocate with the total surrender and submission and loving service of the residents of Vrindavan? You've given Putana yourself and a situation in Krishna Loka. How are you going to reciprocate with these devotees in Vrindavan? I'm puzzled.
Brahma 在圣典博伽瓦坛第14章这样询问 Krishna， 我真的是感到非常的困惑。您甚至赐予了 Putana 在 Goloka Vrindavan 母亲的这个地位赐予了她这崇高的地位，那您如何去回应 Vrindavan 这些极其臣服皈依、如此奉爱于您的奉献者们呢 ？Braja 居民呢
？Krishna does not hesitate to kill demons.
Krishna
Asat antakam.
Asat antakam. Krishna 会毫不犹豫地杀死恶魔。
And now we're going to go to another section of Srimad-Bhagavatam.
我们现在进入到圣典博伽瓦坛的另一个部分。
And we're going to hear yet another reason why Krishna appears.
我们现在来聆听一下 Krishna 降临于世的另外一个原因。
You can make note and look it up later in your Bhagavatam in your home.
你们可以记下笔记，然后课后去在家里看一看圣典博伽瓦坛的这个诗节。
Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text number 5.
圣典博伽瓦坛第5篇第19章第5诗节。
The text begins with Martyavataras tu iva. Martyavataras tu iva means he who incarnates in the world of mortals. You don't have to say the Sanskrit because you struggle with it.
那么
the sentence, the text begins, he who incarnates in the world of mortals.
这个诗节的一开始呢是这样开始的：您以人类的形象降临于世。
The verse is spoken by Hanuman.
这个诗节是由哈努曼吟述的、讲述的。
Chapter 19 is prayers by the residents of Jambudweep.
博伽瓦坛第5篇第19章是 Jambudweep 居民献上的祷文。
What is Jambudweep?
Jambudweep 是什么呢？
Jambudweep is one of the islands in Bhumandala, or this earthly region.
Jambudweep 是我们这个地球这个中等星系当中的一个岛。
Jambudweep has 7 different islands. Excuse me. Bhumandala has 7 different islands, and the central island is Jambudweep.
那么 Bhumandala 中等地球这个星系有7个岛，那么Jambudweep 是其中的一个。
And Jambudweep has a very tall mountain in the middle called Sumeru.
Jambudweep 中间有一座著名的山脉，叫做梅鲁山。
And at the base of that Mount Sumeru, there's 9 varshas, one of which is Bharatvarsha, ours.
那么在这个梅鲁山的底座有9块地，其中的一块就是 Bharata。Sorry.
And somebody needs to mute their microphone. Say it in Chinese.
一心嘛，太姐，请把您的视频还有麦关掉好吗？我们大家看得您非常的清楚。
Thank you very much.
非常感谢你，请把麦和视频都关掉。就在下面左下角，您是电脑吗？
Varsha means tract of land.
Varsha 的意思是一片土地，一片大陆。
Bharat Varsha is one of those tracts of land.
而这 Bharata 是一片大陆，是其中的一块大陆。
That's where we are, Bharat Varsha.
我们所处在的陆地就是 Bharata Varsha.
And another is Hari Varsha, where Hanuman stays and worships Lord Ramachandra.
还有另一片大陆呢，是 Hari Varsha， 那就是哈努曼所居住的那片大陆，他在那里崇拜着主 Rama。
So this prayer is Hanuman's prayer.
所以呢，这段祷文是哈努曼敬献的祷文。
I'll explain what his prayer says, and then I'll read it.
我会去解释这段祷文当中所讲述的。现在我来读一下这个诗节。
He's not speaking about the reason for Krishna's appearance. He's speaking of the reason for Ramchandra's appearance.
哈努曼在这里并没有讲到 Krishna 显现于世的有。
But the principle is the same, Krishna and Rama's appearance.
但是呢 Krishna 和 Rama 显现于世的原则都是一样的，他们显现的原因都是一样的。
Hanuman says that not only did Ramchandra appear in the body or form of a human being to kill Ravana, but he also appeared to teach lessons about the purpose of life to human society.
Hanuman 在这首祷文当中说到了，主 Ramachandra 降临于世，并不仅仅是杀死 Ravana 这个恶魔，他还要教导终有一天，他还要教导凡人。
Jiva Goswami quotes this verse in Krishna Sandarbha, where he's explaining the truths about Krishna. So listen carefully.
Jiva Goswami 在他的这个 Krishna Sandarbha 里面去解释了这个诗节，请大家仔细听好。
The translation reads, the translation goes as follows.
那这个译文是这样说到的。
It was ordained that Ravana, chief of the Rakshasas, could not be killed by anyone but a man.
食人魔首领 Ravana 命中注定，除了人，谁都杀不死他。
And for this reason, Lord Ramachandra appeared in the form of a human being.
为了这个原因，至尊人格守神主 Ramachandra 以人类的形象显现。
Lord Ramachandra's mission, however, was not only to kill Ravana.
然而，主 Ramachandra 的使命不仅仅只是杀死 Ravana，
but also to teach mortal beings that material happiness centered around sex life or centered around one's wife is the cause of many miseries.
他还要教导终有一死的凡人，以性生活为中心或以自己妻子为中心的物质快乐，是众多痛苦的根源。
He is the self-sufficient supreme personality of Godhead, and nothing is lamentable for him.
他是自给自足的至尊人格守神，对他来说没有需要悲伤的。
Therefore, why else could he be subjected to tribulations by the kidnapping of Mother Sita?
既然如此，还有什么原因能够使他因为 Sita 母亲被绑架而经历磨难呢？
There are many things that could be said about that message.
关于这个诗节的内容，我们有很多可以说的。
Here's what Jiva Goswami writes in Krishna Sandarbha.
Jiva Goswami 在他的著作 Krishna Sandarbha 当中这样说道。
The Supreme Lord does not only come to the world of mortals to kill demons who trouble the saintly devotees.
那么至尊人格守神，他不仅仅只是以人类的形象降临于世，杀死恶魔，去拯救神圣的奉献者们。
He comes to teach the conditioned souls. He reveals to them the true goal of life.
他降临于世，也是为了去教导受制约的灵魂，向他们揭示生命的真正真谛。
But these are only the external secondary reasons he appears in this world of mortals.
但是呢，这只是他以人类的形象降临于世的外在的次要的原因。
He also comes to reveal the great sweetness of his pastimes to the devotees.
他降临于世，也是为了向他心爱的奉献者们展示他甜蜜的逍遥时光。
This is a fourth reason, in addition to the three mentioned in
这是
Bhagavad-Gita.
补真梵歌所提到的3个原因之外的第4个原因 ，Krishna 降临于世的第4个原因。
those of you that are a little familiar with the reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance,
在座的熟悉主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 降临于世的原因的奉献者们，
Krishna Das Kaviraj describes in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there are 3 external and 3 internal reasons.
Krishna Das Kaviraj 在他的著作 Chaitanya Charitamrita 当中说到了，主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 降临于世有3个外在的原因和3个内在的原因。
What are those 3 external reasons?
那3个外在的原因是什么呢？
To establish Yoga Dharma. He gives the holy name.
为了去建立 Yoga Dharma， 他派发圣名。
A second reason is he responds to Advaita Acharya's loud calling, appealing for him to appear.
第2个原因是为了回应Advaita Acharya大声的疾呼祈求他降临于世。
And the third reason is his promise that he would appear from time to time in this world to protect the devotees.
第3个原因就是他向他的奉献者们承诺了，他会定期的，他会一次又一次的去降临于世。
Those are external reasons.
这3个原因全都是外在的原因。
And there are 3 internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance.
但是主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 降临于世还有3个内在的原因。
And they're all related to the same point made about Krishna's appearance.
而这3个内在的原因跟 Krishna 显现于世的这第4个原因是息息相关的。
And that is, Krishna's appearance is to reveal the sweetness of his pastimes to his devotees, that's us.
Krishna 降临于世是向他的心爱的奉献者我们揭示他甜蜜的逍遥时光。
Devotees who desire within their heart to be again engaged in their eternal service with Krishna.
奉献者们由衷的渴望能够通过去服务 Krishna， 为 Krishna 从事奉爱服务，和 Krishna 在一起。
And in more elevated stages, very eager to be again in Krishna's association.
那么更为崇高的境界就是极度的渴望再一次与 Krishna 为伴。
Very easily, Krishna could have arranged the other 3 purposes, killing of demons, giving teachings, and protecting the devotees. Someone else could have done those things.
那么 Krishna 可以轻而易举的就安排达成他显现于世的3个外在的3个原因，就是保护奉献者、铲除恶徒、重建宗教原则。他其他的 Krishna 的其他的形象也可以做到。
In fact, Krishna can annihilate unlimited numbers of demons just like he can withdraw the unlimited numbers of universes effortlessly.
Krishna 能够不费吹灰之力的杀死铲除千百万恶魔，就像他能够不费吹灰之力的能够收回所有的宇宙展示。
He has unlimited potencies, so he doesn't need to come and dismiss the demons.
因为他具有无穷无尽的力量，所以呢，他可以不费吹灰之力的去消除这些恶魔。
But when he appears in his original form, he's showing to the world that transcendently attractive form of Krishna.
当 Krishna 他亲自显现于世的时候，是为了以他非常超然俊美的形象去吸引这些这世界上的所有的生物体。
And he displays his most amazing, very sweet, loving exchanges with his devotees.
并且他展示了 与他的奉献者最亲密的爱的交流。
For the past month here in America, I've been discussing in our morning classes Canto 10, Chapter 12.
在过去的几个月当中呢，我在美国每天早上一起来和奉献者讨论圣典博伽瓦坛第10篇第12章。
There's a very celebrated verse, Canto 10, Chapter 12, Text 11, which I'm going to recite.
在圣典博伽瓦坛第10篇第12章第11诗节，这是非常著名的一个诗节，我现在呢来读给大家。
And this will conclude the morning class.
我们以这个诗节来结束今天晚上的课。
Now the devotees that are with me in the room, they've heard it maybe 25 times.
跟我在房间的这些奉献者们，可能他们听我吟诵这个诗节已经不下20多次了。
So if they remember it, they can say it along with me.
如果屋子里的这些奉献者还记得这个诗节的话，可以跟我一起来吟诵这个诗节。
Etam satam brahma sukhanubhrutya tasyam gatanam paradaivatena mayashatanam naradarakena sakam brajo krita punya punjaha. This is a verse describing the very, very special position of the cowherd boyfriends of Krishna.
这个诗节呢，描述了 Krishna 的那些牧牛童们，他们非常非常非常特殊的地位。
It reveals the sweetness of Krishna's loving exchange with them and all the residents of Braja.
这个诗节揭示了 Krishna 和这些牧牛童朋友们之间的亲密的爱的交流，以及和文达文所有其他居民的非常亲密的爱的交流。
And this is the principal and internal personal reason for Krishna's appearing in this world.
而这正是 Krishna 降临于世的内在的个人的原则。
The verse has 4 parts.
这个诗节有4个部分。
The first part has to do with those that experience the happiness of Brahman realization, called Brahma Sukha.
这个诗节的第一部分呢，讲的是 Brahma Sutta， 是那些对非人格的这个放光有着觉悟的思辨者，知识思辨者。
There are some very fortunate souls who become realized in Brahman and they experience Brahman happiness.
有一些幸运的灵魂，他们处在 Brahman 的境界当中，对 Brahman 有所觉悟。
The second line describes those who have Dasya Bhakti and they serve the personality of Godhead in the mood of loving submissive service.
这个诗节的第2行描述的是 Dasya 跟 Krishna 是仆人，永恒的仆人的关系，他们始终以非常顺从的仆人的这种关系去服务至尊人格守神。
And the third line of that verse indicates persons who have taken shelter of Maya.
而这节诗的第3行是描述了那些脱避于玛雅的普通人，
like Putana.
就像 Putana 这样的人。
And some other people I know who have taken shelter of Maya.
还有其他那些脱避于玛雅的人。
And those persons see Krishna as, although they may see Krishna's form, they see him as an ordinary person.
那些脱避于玛雅的人，虽然他们看到了 Krishna 的形象，但是呢，他们却把 Krishna 当作普通常人。
But the sweetness that Krishna exhibits in Braja permits these little boys to just play with Krishna all day long.
但是 Krishna 他的这种甜蜜允许了Braja 的这些牧牛童们一起跟他玩耍。
The speculative jnanis who realize Brahman happiness do not have that possible opportunity.
而那些进行思辨的推敲者，虽然他们具有对 Brahman 的觉悟，但是呢，他们没有和 Krishna 一起玩耍的机会。
Those who engage in service, in a mood of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they can't play with Krishna either.
那些以仆人的心态去服务至尊人格守神的奉献者们，他们也不能和 Krishna 进行玩耍。
I don't recommend that you get a deity of Krishna and you start playing with your deity of Krishna.
所以呢，在这里你不是推荐大家把神像当作自己的玩耍的伙伴，跟神像一起玩耍。
And the large portion of human society today are those who have taken shelter of Maya, and at best they can see Krishna as an ordinary person.
而当今社会的大部分人们，他们是脱避于玛雅的人，他们会把 Krishna 当作普通常人一样看待。
But the cowherd boys, they actually play with Krishna.
但是这些牧牛童们，他们真的是在与 Krishna 一起玩耍。
Shukadeva Goswami is astonished at their good fortune.
Shukadeva Goswami 对他们的这种幸运感到非常的惊讶。
Krishna appears to reveal that sweetness of his pastimes with the cowherd boys, with the cows, with the cowherd men, the cowherd ladies, the young gopis, the peacocks, the river Jamuna, and all the living entities in Braja. They're ecstatic to be engaged in loving exchanges with Krishna. He satisfies them in every way.
Krishna 降临于世，去揭示，他与 Vrindavan 的这些居民们，比如牧牛郎、牧牛女、牧牛童、年轻的牧牛姑娘，还有这个孔雀、树木，以及 Jamuna 河等等，所有 Vrindavan 居民向他们揭示 Krishna 甜蜜的逍遥时光。Vrindavan 的所有的居民们都处在狂喜的极乐当中，和 Krishna 进行着爱的交流。
In 2 days, you'll be observing Krishna Janmashtami.
再过2天就是庆祝 Krishna 的 Janmashtami 显现日。
So you can meditate on these reasons for Krishna's appearance.
大家可以去冥想 Krishna 降临于世、显现于世的这些原因。
And especially the sweetness portion of Krishna's appearance.
尤其是 Krishna 降临于世的甜美的，揭示他甜美逍遥时光的这个原因。
He's doing this, appearing in this world for us.
Krishna 他降临于世这么去做，是为了我们。
He doesn't need anything.
Krishna 什么都不需要。
But he's very compassionate.
但是 Krishna 非常的怜悯。
So he reveals his pastimes to attract our hearts and our minds and our very being to once again be with him. Very enthusiastic. The more you hear, let's go.
Krishna 降临于世，上演这些逍遥时光，就是为了吸引我们的内心，吸引我们的心意，吸引这宇宙当中所有的生物体，让我们听得如此的热情洋溢。我们一起走吧。
So we now have time for some discussion.
我们现在给大家提问的时间。
And I don't know what's the best way to do this, I guess you can just unmute yourself, like looks like Prajendra has just done.
就像是 我不知道大家以什么样的方式提出问题可能更好，就像 Rajendra 这样做的，可以把问题打在荧幕上然后 OK Maharaj actually 我先读一下中文 Rajendra Prabhu 的问题，感谢 Maharaj 启发性的讲课，感谢翻译。问题 Krishna 亲手杀死恶魔与 Krishna 的化身杀死恶魔，结果都一样吗？都获得解脱吗？貌似不是这样。
I see some messages in the chat box. There's Rajendra's question. Okay.
Yeah. 貌似不是这样，有什么区别吗？ Maharaj, actually, his question has 3 parts.
3 parts.
Yeah.
Do one at a time, please.
Yes. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your instructive lecture. So, Krishna personally killed demons, and the incarnation of Krishna also killed demons. So the result is the same. This is the first question.
Krishna killed and who else?
Incarnation of Krishna killed demons. So the result is the same as Krishna personally killed the demons.
No.
结果不一样。就 Krishna 亲手杀死恶魔与 Krishna 的化身杀死恶魔，结果不一样。
I'm sure Rajendra knows there's a very important and lengthy purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
我想可能在 Chaitanya Charitamrita 当中 Rajendra 你可能注意到了这一部分。
It describes what happened after Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were killed, and Ravana and Kumbhakarna were killed, and then Krishna's killing Shishupal and Dantavakra. And they don't all achieve liberation.
They don't all achieve the liberation.
Others killed by Ram and Nrsinga did not achieve liberation.
那么在 Chaitanya Charitamrita 当中讲到了 Hiranyakashipu、Hiranyaksha 和这个 Kumbhakarna、Ravana 被杀死，后来主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 后来 Krishna 杀死了这个 Shishupal 和Dandavakra， 他们就是在被杀死，他们被杀死了，但是呢，并没有得到解脱。
However, everyone
前面的
killed
Hiranyakashipu 和 Hiranyaksha，
everyone killed by Krishna or even Krishna's devotees, they achieve liberation.
任何被 Krishna 亲自杀死的，或者是被 Krishna 的奉献者杀死的，得到解脱。
Like all the soldiers that were killed on the Kurukshetra battlefield, they achieve liberation.
就像是在 Kurukshetra 战场上被杀死的这些将士们，全都得到了解脱。
What's his second question?
The second question that all of them getting liberation is already, you already answered this question.
Okay. Next.
The third question that it seems that not 貌似不是这样，有什么区别 ？Rajendra Prabhu， 你能不能够把这个最后一个问题澄清一下？貌似不是什么样啊？是貌似不是都得到解脱吗？是吗？有啥区别？是这意思吗？ So the third question， 都回答了。Rajendra said that you already answered all the questions.
Okay.
So next also Rajendra will continue ask. Putana 做了什么缺德的事情，使他这辈子成为了恶魔？他又做了什么善事，被 Krishna 亲手所杀，获得解脱？So his question relates to Putana. What kind of bad things Putana did so that in this lifetime she became a demon? And what kind of good things she did so that Krishna personally killed him and got liberation?
This very question was discussed yesterday evening, and I'll be happy to share with you again this morning.
昨天晚上在美国讲课的时候，有奉献者问了跟这个差不多一模一样的问题，我非常高兴今天晚上再跟大家来分享这个问题的回答。
The good thing that Putana did in her previous life was she was the sister of Bali Maharaj.
那 Putana 在她上一辈子她做的善事，就是她是 Bali Maharaj 的妹妹。
So if you can have Bali Maharaj as your brother, you're in good shape.
要如果你能够有像 Bali Maharaj 这样的哥哥的话，那你真是好运当头。
And when the sister of Bali Maharaj saw Lord Vamana, she was astonished at his beauty, and she had this desire in her heart that if possible, she would like to have this boy as her child with maternal affection and feed him and hold him and cuddle him.
那么当巴利 Maharaj 的这个妹妹一看到 Vamana 诸如 Vamana 的时候，被她的俊美惊人的俊美所吸引，把她惊呆了，然后她内心呢就产生了一种极度的渴望，渴望能够去为这个孩子有这种父母之爱，能够去抱他，能够去喂养他，能够去爱抚他，有这种情感油然而生。
The Supreme Lord, in his form as Vamana, understood her desire.
至尊人格守神 Vamana 以这个形象显现的至尊人格守神 Vamana 非常清楚他内心的愿望。
And his benediction went directly to Bali Maharaj's sister.
所以呢，他就直接的祝福了巴利 Maharaj 的这个妹妹。
And here's the bad thing.
而他在上一辈子做了这样的坏事儿，缺德的事儿。
When Bali Maharaj's sister saw that her brother was tied up with rope because he didn't give the third step of land to Lord Vamana, she became very angry.
让巴利 Maharaj 的这位妹妹看到巴利 Maharaj 因为没有给予 Vamana Deva 第三步土地的时候， Vamana Deva 就用绳索把他捆绑起来了，所以他内心愤怒不已。
He desired to personally kill him.
于是他内心呢就想亲自杀了他。
And that was the bad thing.
这就是他做的缺德事儿。
So in her next life, she took birth as Putana.
所以呢，在下一辈子，他投生为 Putana。
And her good fortune was she got the direct contact with the form of the personality of Godhead Krishna.
而他的好运就是他直接的触碰了至尊人格守神 Krishna 的身体。
And Krishna overlooked the bad thing, her trying to kill him, and liberated her.
但是 Krishna 忽略了他想要杀死 Krishna 的这样的非常恶劣的欲望，并且赐予了他解脱。
So her punishment of being killed was a benediction.
所以呢，杀死 Putana 是给予他的祝福。
Next.
请问大家有其他的问题吗？
Anyone else?
其他人有问题吗？Jamuna Priya，请你暂时关上麦好吗？现在 Jamuna Priya Mataji 他提了一个问，贴在了这个空格里。顶拜 Maharaj， 感恩您这么美妙的讲述了 Krishna 显现的不同的原因。Krishna 杀死的这些恶魔都代表着我们内心的某些不洁 Anartha。 我想请教您的是，这些恶魔的人格化身真实存在于我们的内心吗？还是这些恶魔仅仅只是比喻而已，象征着我们内心的邪恶品质，实际并不存在于我们心中呢？ So, Guru Maharaj, this question from Jamuna Priya Mataji has two parts. Yeah. Thank you very Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj. And thank you for your very beautiful narrate the different reasons of Krishna's appearance. So, Krishna killed so many demons, and these demons represent the anarthas in our heart. So I would like to ask you that those demon personification exactly exist in our hearts, or it's just metaphors?
There's tendencies are in the heart, but the person isn't.
在我们的心中呢，有这种恶魔的倾向，在我们的心中没有这些恶魔的人存在。Jamuna Priya Mataji 回答了您的问题了吗？实际上第二个问题已经回答了您了。Actually, Guru Maharaj, you already answered the second part. He asked that,
Okay.
This is symbolized.
Just go to the next one because of time.
Yes. Katyayani Mataji, Hare Krishna, 顶拜 Guru 和翻译。请问 Krishna 是为了拯救奉献者而降临于世，在卡利年代，恶魔住在每个生物体的心中。Krishna 是杀死我们的恶魔心态吗？ I offer my obeisances to this question from Katyayani Mataji.
Yes.
I offer my obeisances to Guru. So I would like to ask that in this Kali Yuga, Krishna descends on this earth in order to save the devotees. In Kali Yuga, the demons live in the heart of the living entities. So Krishna killed. So can I understand in this way? Krishna killed our demonic attitude in our heart.
Krishna's pastimes have potency.
Krishna 的消时光是有力量的。
Simply by hearing the pastimes, that potency is present.
我们只是通过聆听 Krishna 的这些消时光，这些力量就在那里。
To the degree that we take shelter of that sound vibration, the narration of Krishna's pastimes, the answer is yes.
那么，如我们去聆听 Krishna 的这些消时光，托庇于 Krishna 的消时光的超然音震，是的。那么回答是的 ，Krishna 杀死我们的恶魔心态。
In addition, Lord Chaitanya came after Krishna appeared.
在 Krishna 的显现之后，主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 显现于世。
And through the Yoga Dharma and his wonderful teachings in pastimes, he supported that purpose of Krishna's appearance.
主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 通过 Yoga Dharma， 通过他的教导，通过他的通过他的教导，向我支持了主 Krishna 显现于世的这个目的。Next question from Jayarada。 顶拜 Guru Maharaj， 顶拜翻译。 Brahma 偷走了 Krishna 的牧牛童朋友和小牛犊，因为他不相信 Krishna 就是他的至尊主。这是不是意味着 Brahma 从未见过 Krishna 的这个形象呢？还是 Yoga Maya 的原因？ This question from Jayarada. I offer my obeisances to Guru Maharaj. So Brahma stolen Krishna's boyfriends, cowherd boyfriends and calves, still because he didn't believe that Krishna is his supreme lord. So does this mean Lord Brahma have never seen Krishna, the form of Krishna? Or this is is it due to Yoga Maya?
In transcendence, he saw the form of Krishna.
在超然的境界当中，他见过 Krishna 的形象。
He didn't have the fullness of realization of the sweetness of Krishna, however.
然而，他并没有完全的觉悟到 Krishna 的甜蜜。
And the result of his wonderful exchange with Krishna in Vrindavan brought that realization.
但是他在 Vrindavan 与 Krishna 之间的非常超然甜蜜的交流的结果，使得他有了这样全然的觉悟。
Jairadha, she's in Australia right now, so it's like midnight.
Jairadha, 你在澳大利亚，你们现在那儿是午夜的时分了吧？
I hope your daughters aren't up also.
希望你的女儿也在旁聆听呢。
Okay, next.
The next from Chaitanya Prabhu. 敬爱的 Guru Maharaj， 请接收我卑微的顶拜。Krishna 为什么选择在半夜显现呢？ Yeah, my dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So my question is that why did Krishna choose midnight to appear in this world?
I think you have to ask Krishna.
我想你得去问问 Krishna 为什么选择半夜显现。
So you could be up all day fasting on Krishna's appearance day.
Yeah.
Translate.
Sorry. Yeah, because there is a buffering, so I didn't catch the whole sentence.
The answer I gave is so that you can fast all day on his appearance day because you have to fast until midnight when he appears.
那么你可以在他显现日的那一天吧，你一直戒食到午夜等到午夜他降临的那个时候，一直戒食到那个时候。
Sometimes it's said that the Lord appears at an auspicious time with the configuration of the stars in the sky.
那么有的时候呢 ，Krishna 会在这个星象非常吉祥的排列的时刻降临。
But in relation to Krishna's appearance, he even had the stars in the sky adjust their position. So to create that auspiciousness at the time of his appearance.
但是呢，在 Krishna 降临的时候，即便是天上的这个星座的排列不是那么的吉祥，但是 Krishna 的显现却使得这一切变得如此的吉祥。
Next.
From Govinda Nandini. 顶拜 Gurudev， 您讲到 Krishna 显现的主要原因， 是与他的奉献者进行爱心交流，通过他甜美的逍遥时光吸引我们，产生更强烈的愿望，想要回到他的身边。我们应该如何更好的接受他的这一信息呢？Gurudeva, please accept my obeisances. So in your lecture, you mentioned that the main reason Krishna appearance is that to have a loving exchange with his devotees. Through those sweet pastimes, through those three pastimes, he attracts us and arouse our strong desire to go back to come to him. So what should we
keep going.
In which better way that we accept these teachings?
I don't understand the question.
So what?
Don't just translate, summarize.
How to accept this information in a better way?
Which information? The reason for his appearance?
Yeah, the main reason for his appearance.
Well, it's not the main reason, it's the internal reason.
这个主要的原因是内在的原因。
The other reasons are also real reasons.
那其他显现的原因也是真实的原因。
But I want to understand what her question is. Do you understand her question?
如何
Maybe she can just unmute herself. She can unmute herself and say it in English.
Yes. Govinda Nandini, 你要不自己说一下吧，再把这个问题再重复一下好吗？
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is that Krishna appears mostly because he wants to exchange loving relations with his devotees and also attract us to have stronger desire to go back to him. So how can we appreciate his motive or his message?
Well, we can appreciate in this way.
我们可以这样去我们可以这样去接受欣赏这一讯息。
Krishna is very kind.
Krishna 非常的仁慈仁爱。
And he wants us to come to him.
Krishna 想要我们回到他身边。
Just like a great person, they may not show the intimacy of their loving exchanges with those who are very dear and close to them.
就像是那些伟大的人，他可能并没有像跟他非常亲近的人去揭示他的这个非常充满爱的这种关系，亲密的交流。
To the public, they may show a certain feature of their character, and with their intimate associates, they show something more confidential.
那么呢，刚才有一点翻译错误，就像是伟大的人，他和他最亲近的人会去揭示他跟这些亲近的人非常充盈爱的关系的交流。那么在大众面前，他会去展示他外在的这些特点特征，但是呢，和他非常亲密的人去跟他们进行非常机密的这种爱的交流。
In this case, Krishna is giving us access to his intimacy.
在这种情况当中 Krishna 让我们给予我们机会去接近这样的亲密的情感。
That's his greater happiness, not just ours.
这是 Krishna 巨大的喜乐，而不仅仅是我们的，而不仅仅是我们的。
And there's some risk when you show intimacy that you have with those close to you, to those who don't know you so well.
那么呢，当你和你的这个你觉得和你亲密的人去有这种亲密的交流，但是别人可能并没有这样跟你有这种亲密之情，可能你就会冒险。
And it's true also with Krishna. Many people do not at all understand him.
所以呢，对于人类来说也是如此，尤其是对那些并不是十分了解 Krishna 的人而言。
He's taking that risk anyway.
但是呢 ，Krishna 仍然 ，You mean Krishna takes this risk?
Krishna is taking the risk of showing the sweetness of his pastimes anyway.
但是无论如何 ，Krishna 仍然去冒险去揭示他充盈甜美的逍遥时光。
He wants our hearts.
因为他想要我们的心。
And he is inviting us to come and join with him in that way.
而且 Krishna 以这种方式去邀请我们和他一起尽情的享乐快乐。
That's how we should understand his purpose.
所以呢，这就是我们应该去了解他的方法，这就是我们应该去了解他的目的的方法。
That can make our heart more open and filled with gratitude that Krishna is displaying all of this.
而且呢，我们这些能够帮助我们去敞开心扉，去激发我们的感恩之情，激发感恩 Krishna 揭示了这一切。
Even Shukadev Goswami was amazed, what to speak of us.
这边 Sukadeva Goswami 都如此的惊叹，更何况我们呢？
So we have 5 minutes.
我们还有5分钟。
Go ahead.
So Guru Maharaj, Jayarada would like to clarify one point of her question.
We're running out of time. Do it quickly.
Yeah. 他说我指的是 Krishna 的孩童逍遥时光。So when Jayarada asked that did Brahma ever see Krishna's form? That form is Krishna's childhood form. So did Brahma see this form before? Krishna's child form.
In Brahma's prayers, there's some indication that the answer is yes.
在 Brahma 的祈祷文当中，是表明了他见过。
Surabhi, you can share that PowerPoint with her that I just sent to you yesterday.
OK. Surabhi 可以把
Because it is the answer to her question.
OK. Surabhi 可以把我昨天发给 Surabhi 的这个幻灯片，到时候发给 Jayarada， 因为这个幻灯片里面正好回答了你的这个问题。
Through the mercy of the residents of Vrindavan, the demigods are able to directly perceive Krishna's form and pastimes.
通过文达文居民的通过文达文居民的仁慈，这些半神人们，他们能够感知到 Krishna 在文达文上演的孩童逍遥时光的甜美。
That's a quick answer, and the PowerPoint will give you the details.
这是对你的这个问题回答的迅速的一个回答。这个幻灯片里面的内容正好回答了你所提的这个问题。
Let's go forward.
Yeah, the next question from Bhakti Melody. 感谢 Guru Maharaj 和所有奉献者 ，Krishna 可以移除内心的污染，但是先前由于内心的污染对奉献者造成的冒犯，如果没有得到对方的原谅，也没有得到对方足下的尘土，如果他真心的向 Krishna 忏悔， Krishna 会干预吗？ Yeah. Melody, 要不你自己跟 Maharaj 说英文。
Why doesn't Melody unmute herself and then she can ask her question succinctly?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I just told her this way.
Okay.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. My question is that because Krishna can remove the anartha, but how about the one made some offense to another devotee, but unless we get forgiveness from the devotee, or we get dust from their feet, that we can get relieved from the offenses effect. But if we don't get both, just simply make a confession to Krishna, not directly to the devotee, will Krishna interfere?
Yes. We should not be hesitant. Melody can translate. We should not be hesitant to approach that devotee, but there may be circumstances where we don't even know which devotee we've offended in which way and so forth. Unknowingly, there may have been some offense. And so we can approach Krishna in the way that you just described.
就是Guru Maharaj 说是我们不应当去犹豫，就是当我们冒犯奉献者的时候，我们应当去接近这位奉献者。但是如果我们不知道我们冒犯了谁，在这种情况下是可以通过刚才这种方式，就是向 Krishna 做一种真诚的忏悔，以这种方式来免除我们冒犯造成的影响。
Let's do the last question, Jambavati's question, and then we'll end.
Yeah. Jambavati, 顶拜 Gurudev， 请问 Gurudeva，Krishna 显现的主要原因是满足他纯粹奉献者渴望见到他的愿望。我的问题是，纯粹奉献者不是在万事万物中都能看到 Krishna 吗？还有，纯粹奉献者甚至会蔑视，纯粹奉献者甚至会蔑视解脱。为什么纯粹奉献者渴望看到 Krishna 呢？ So I offer my obeisances to Gurudev. Krishna, the main reason Krishna descend on the earth is to satisfy his pure devotees' desire, which is because they're very eager to see Lord Krishna. So my question is that the pure devotees, they can see Lord Krishna in everything. Is this true? So, and also the pure devotees scorn or look down upon liberation. So why pure devotees are very eager to see Lord Krishna?
Your question is a very essential question in Srimad-Bhagavatam.
你的这个问题呢，正是 Srimad-Bhagavatam 里面的主要的内容。
It's a very refined discussion, but I'll summarize it in simple terms.
这个内容呢是非常的精炼的 描述了，我在这里呢概
While
述一
one
下
may see
其中的内
Krishna
容。
in meditation, or one may see Krishna within the universal form, like, the light of the sun and the moon, and the ability in man, and so forth. One may see Krishna in that way.
一个人可能会在冥想之中看到 Krishna， 可能在 Krishna 的宇宙形体当中看到 Krishna， 例如看到人的能力是，看到人的能力是 Krishna 的展示，这等等。通过看你在 Krishna 的宇宙形体当中去看到 Krishna。
There is something very special about seeing Krishna's form directly.
能够直接的看到 Krishna 是特别特别的。
Jamavati, you're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, as am I. Jamavati is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, as are all of us.
Jamavati 跟我们大家一样，都唱诵 Hare Krishna Maha Mantra。
In principle, the name and the person are non-different.
在原则上，你知道 Krishna 的圣名和 Krishna 本人是没有分别的。
But we haven't realized that yet.
但是呢，我们仍然没有觉悟到这一点。
And the realization is something to hanker for.
而这个觉悟正是我们所追求、所渴求的。
Then when you see the form of Krishna in his holy name, it's different than simply chanting the holy name.
那么，当你在 Krishna 的圣名当中看到了 Krishna 的时候，那就是只是跟你只是念诵 Krishna 的圣名是截然不同的。
That's a summary, and the detail is really refined, and you'll find it in Bhagavad-Gita, which maybe someday that'll be translated to Chinese.
也许终有一天 Bhagavad-Gita 翻译成中文，然后你就能够在 Bhagavad-Gita 当中。不好意思，是谁？把麦关一下好吗？
看是谁？
抱歉。哇塞！
Somebody mute your phone, please.
请
Okay.
请刚
I'd like to end. But it's 12 hours different. You're at 5 minutes after 9. Let me just take, I see Priti Vardhana has a very short one. Let's take her question. And I'm going to end.
Yes. 刚才温哈就说到了，就是如果 Bhagavad-Gita 翻译成中文的话，以后你可以看到这个非常惊艳的概述的。Priti Vardhana 顶拜 Guru Maharaj。Okay, yeah. Maharaj, actually, Priti Vardhana didn't raise any question. He just to offer her obeisances to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
okay.
Jamuna Priya has the question.
But I'm gonna I know I'm gonna end the class because this could go on. I'm gonna end the class. Thank you.
Okay. 因为现在时间不早了，所以 Maharaj 他就讲到这里吧，今天就讲到这里，好吗？然后这个 Yamuna Priya Mataji， 您这个问题会下一次。
And I'll be with you tomorrow and the next day.
后天还会跟大家在一起的，好吗？非常感谢 Guru Maharaj 给我们精彩的讲课。Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, for your wonderful lecture and answering the questions.
Prabhupada.